Fellas, welcome to the Ryman Auditorium, Grand Ole Opry, Opry debut. Opry debut. What were y'all thinking when you walked into the building tonight?
Unbelievable. I was thinking, how many of the incredible artists that have walked through these doors, breathed this air, and got to walk out on that stage. I mean,
I got to tell you, all right, so we've been a band for 24 years, and so
don't tell anybody that.
We've done a lot. There have been a lot of things we've done. There's not a lot of firsts anymore for us. And definitely not many times where you get the pre-gig butterflies. Like that just really doesn't happen. I mean, it doesn't happen a whole lot anymore at all.
No.
But when I walked in that backstage door, I got to be honest, man. There's this whole different thing about being here. It's such an honor, and it's I don't know, man. I don't.
Oh my gosh. Force management.
Amy.
He's so good. We're so good.
Just keep going.
Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So it just there's a level of nerves for me specifically. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, on stage I told you I was like, man, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, like we checked the song and felt good playing, but then when we stop playing and you look around, you kind of go, whoa, wait a minute.
And we're usually way too stupid to be nervous.
No, it's true.
Here's the deal: is you think about all the people that have played here, all the talent, all the amazing musicians that we grew up listening to, and so. You know, it's in the walls here. And there's still a level of respect even from those people about this place and about playing here. That even them, it's not old school. It's important when you play here. And so, look, we're just so happy to be invited. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
If y'all had to pick one artist that you could collaborate with here tonight, who would it be?
Wow.
Man.
That's a really good question. I mean, Chris Young seems like such a great guy. We've never been able to cross paths other than through the Twitter world. I think we've been on stage with Chris Jansen before, Jim, back in the day, but I'd like to bring him up and have him do a little...
no, but I think...
Now, can we talk about anybody?
Dead or alive?
I thought you meant tonight.
Ever.
All right.
But yeah, if you could bring anybody on stage with you.
Kenny Rogers, but 30 years ago, when he wore the white suit.
Yeah, white suit Kenny Rogers. How about Elvis Presley? That'd be pretty good.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That'd be cool.
I just went... That's how excited I was about that.
How about George Jones?
Merle Haggard. Yes. Merle.
Haggard. Oh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a whole laundry list apparently. But seeing as there's 6 of us, we get 6 choices, so that's kind of cool.
Perfect. Very good. So you have new music coming out soon, the new EP Water coming out on the 9th, and it's part of the series, The Elements. How did that whole concept come about to do this series?
So we were in the studio and we were working on our next project, and you know, we started listening to our fans, the Hazelnuts, and they were saying they wanted more music more often from us. And the last record that we made, Lighter in the Dark, studio record, it took us quite a bit of time. So we were eager to get back in the studio. And so we started recording. We had this great batch of songs, and we decided that we wanted to put out this batch of songs and then keep it moving. So we
more
said,
music more often.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to the fans, right? So we scheduled this record release, which is called Water. It's coming out February 9th. And right on the heels of it, we're going to have 6 months later, we're going to have the next one, and it's for the series called Elements. So there's going to be 4. Over the next 2 years, every 6 months.
First one's water.
So you got to guess.
Second one's tacos.
Tacos.
No, we're excited about it. We're excited about staying creative, staying, on the path of just writing new music and creating music, and so it's nice. It's nice to have that next one, knowing that it's going to be right around the corner. That next record.
So having that more frequency, how does that change the creative process overall for you approaching it?
You can skin a cat different ways, but we can get in a groove. And right now, I think creatively, not just as writers, but just in the studio, we're kind of just reading each other's minds a lot. We're getting in there. We've all been on the same page, and that was
scary.
Really,
that can be scary.
I know. Sometimes you're like, we shouldn't all agree on something.
Also, I've never skinned a cat, and I'm not really happy with this whole thing.
That's a little weird. First time, but after that, you just
I think it takes a little pressure off, because a lot of times when we go in to make a record, you start to have that precious feeling of, oh man, I love this song, it needs to be on this record, and how do we do this, and I want this to be right, and let's take, and knowing that we're going to follow it with another project, there's a freedom to that kind of goes, hey man, let's let the song breathe, let's do this, and let's keep moving. and it'll be interesting to see how that works out because we haven't done that before. So it'll be good to see how that works out.
Yeah.
And no animals will be hurt in the making or
There will be
production.
no skinnings of cats.
So one of the songs on this particular EP is "You Won't See Me Again."
Yeah.
Really powerful song. Can you talk about what you hope that song will do for listeners to hear it?
I hope that there's
Definitely.
I hope that there's some attention drawn to the problems of addiction and in a positive way. And I hope if it means that one person can get help and can find some hope in that song, then it's worth it. It's funny because that song already, and the album hadn't even come out yet, is already drawing a lot of attention from people. It's an extremely powerful song. I wrote the song with a guy named Neil Carpenter, and at the time my brother-in-law was in the middle of a battle with alcoholism. And Ken came in and delivered this song that Neil and I wrote with such emotion and such power. And I think that part of that contribution is that Ken himself has been clean and sober now for 15 years, and in this business, that's just
Sometimes it feels like 16 years.
And there was a personal connection for him in that song on that level as well. So, look, I'm thrilled that it's touching people. It's a super emotional song. It's very powerful, and I hope it carries a message of hope for people that might be battling that
And also,
problem.
there's for whatever reason, a lot of times there's shame around addiction or alcoholism, either for yourself or for a family member. We're pushing that to the side. We want everybody to know, look, every family deals with this in some way, shape, or form. You are not alone, and we want to acknowledge how tough and brutal that ride can be, but that there is most definitely hope, and it is way better on the other side. And having lost people to that disease, we won't do that anymore. We hope that this resonates with people.
Awesome. Very good. So you're still touring, hitting the road all the time, right?
Man.
And one of the things that y'all have been doing for 18 years now is the Rock the Boat.
Yeah, the rock boat.
Yeah, what keeps you going back to doing that?
Well, go ahead, man. I was
Just
just
a couple
saying,
different
we
things.
started it as a thank you to our fans, and we're still about thank you to the fans because they allow us to do what we do year in and year out. And that rock boat is just become kind of an extension of us and our community, and it is as much fun as you can have. It takes everything you love: music, camaraderie, community, food, hanging out. Did I say
Sun,
food?
yeah. Sun,
Another
water.
great thing that we didn't anticipate is after all this time, there's about 20 to 30 bands that come on board. Some of them are bands that we've played with before, some are bands that we look up to, and what's cool is to get each year to get to jam with them. We sit in, be inspired by them, hopefully inspire other bands that are coming up. And so there's a band camaraderie component to it that has really become an important piece to our band and our growth as a band. So
And also, we have a huge sense of pride about this. I mean, 18 years to do anything for 18 years, but to create an event that fans are still drawn to, and the event goes on sale to alumni first. So anybody that's been on the Rock Boat, it's available to them first. This year, it never even made it to the public. I mean, it was sold out before it even went public. And also, the pride that we have in it is because our hands are all over this event. It's not just something that we host and we show up when it's time to go and then we go. I mean, we're part of the decision-making process about the bands that are on board, about the ports that we go to, about how many days at sea that we're going to be at sea, the sets that we do, the theme nights, all that kind of stuff. We take a lot of pride in being a part of that. And so to be that involved and then still have it do something for as long as it has and be as popular as it is, it's really gratifying.
Pride is a sin.
What?
Pride is a sin, Andrew.
Pride is a sin?
Yes.
Well, then I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
You can
Is that a sin?
Grateful as a sin, Andrew.
Being grateful is very sinful.
What are some of your favorite memories from the cruise over the years?
Oh my gosh.
I think for me, we get to stretch out and do unique shows for our audience that we don't do anywhere else except for the boat. We'll do alter ego shows. We've done Tom Petty's set where you know, we called it Zombetty. It was Zombie Night, and we combined it with Tom Petty. We've done Eagles set, Fleetwood Mac set. We've even done like old Van Halen and Skinner and all that stuff. And it's fun for us to learn these classic songs that we grew up on, and
This year?
get out there and stretch out, and it's really fun for us not only to play the classic songs, but to do a special set for the crowd.
And this year, we're all donning these big giant beards and doing a little ZZ Top.
Nice.
Yeah, we love that band. So.
Of course, they're not a 6-piece band, but we'll figure that out.
It takes 6 of us to make that much noise.
That's right. That's right.
There's also a finale every year where we try to bring as many artists from the cruise up, and so we've done things from like recreate We Are the World, done
Literally, recreated We Are the World.
Yeah.
Tiny Dancer, we did Piano Man
Beatles,
last year, so
Sgt. Peppers
Yeah.
with horns, the whole deal.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we get to step out of our comfort zone.
Very cool. For our viewers who may not be familiar with you guys, how would you describe your style?
I would say it's like magic dipped in awesome, wrapped in chocolate. Is that about right?
No, it's not like that at all.
I think that we always call it Florida music. When we grew up, it was always about the song, you know. Genres were a little bit blurred, but it was all about storytelling and delivery. And, you know, we come from, within our few counties right there, was Tom Petty and the Allman Brothers and the Skinner guys. And there's a deep southern rock kind of roots, and guys from the Eagles like Don Felder, Stephen Stills, these sort of storytellers and lots of harmonies. And, you know, for us, we put this band together, you know, those things were at the forefront. Tell honest stories, hopefully with some catchy little bits in there, and surround it with big harmonies, lots of organic sounds and slide guitar and a high energy rhythm section. And, you know, our mission is that every night when people come see this band, they leave feeling a little bit better than when they got there.
Very cool. So you mentioned earlier that, you know, you guys don't have a lot of firsts nowadays, and this is a really big deal.
Yeah.
What's next on the horizon for y'all? What would you like to do next that you haven't done?
I think we're going to go to a couple places overseas that we haven't hit. We've got some significant fan bases
That we've
in
not
places
hit.
like Brazil, and we haven't been down to South America yet. Some places in Europe, and we haven't been to Australia yet. We've sold like a lot of records there, and I don't know why.
We love shrimp. on
So
Barbie.
we get
Hey,
we get people
y'all got
coming
shrimp
over.
on Barbie?
We get people coming over to our shows going, we've had to come to the States just to see you play, so we feel bad for them. So we're going to head out. And now that our kids are a little more grown up, they don't need as much, you know, rearing.
Yeah.
Rearing.
Rearing!
You just need a big bottle of water and some food out on the floor.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'll tell you another thing that's a little more within reach, and has been a lot of fun for us, is now having been welcomed into the country genre and being able to go out and play some of these different venues. We're being invited to some of these other festivals as well, and that's
so much
a
fun.
blast for us, because we get in front of some fans that maybe haven't come to see Sister Hazel shows before, and they go, "Dude, I love their songs." I know that, you know, they end up. I feel like that we're one of those bands that maybe people have listened to and didn't realize it was us, and they sit there during their set, and all of a sudden they're singing along with, you know, 10 of the songs out of our set, and so it's a lot of fun to get in front of some of these new crowds.
It makes you hungry again. Like when we first started, you get on a festival, Bill. You beg to get on a festival. You get on it, and you're like, "We're going to win this crowd over." And you know, we have kind of our fan base that we want every night. We want to deliver for, but it's a different thing, kind of going in front of people that have maybe never seen you before, and you're like, we want them to think that it was time and money well spent, and that they want to come back and spend that time with us again.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Hungry. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for
Hope
your
you have a
questions.
wonderful evening.
Thank
This
you so
is
much.
Such an epic place.
Oh, it is.
Enjoyed every
It is.
moment of it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.